Hi everyone, I'm Sara MacSorley, and I want to tell you all about the Super Cool Scientist project. Super Cool Scientist is a coloring book that I've designed to celebrate women in science around the country who are doing really amazing work and to inspire the next generation of young people to explore STEM careers. We hear a lot about STEM these days. For those of you who may not know, that stands for science, engineering, technology, and mathematics. Science is around us every day. The weather, our immune system, chemical reactions when we are cooking in the kitchen, and so much more. It covers all kinds of stuff, from things that are super small, like viruses that carry the diseases we hear about in the news, to things that are really big, like the universe and our weather systems. Science is super cool, and so are the people who do the work. STEM fields have higher paying jobs than a lot of different areas, and they're addressing some of the biggest issues of our time, like climate change and global technology systems. STEM is where it's at, and where it's going. People who can do STEM work are in high demand. There's going to be more STEM jobs coming down the pipeline, and companies need people to fill those positions. And even though women make up over half of the workforce in the United States, they only hold about a quarter of the STEM jobs that are out there, and people of color hold even less. And this is a problem. Decision-making and discovery really benefit from diversity of all types. Our super cool engineer, Patrice Banks, gets it. Representation of women matters. There have been improvements for getting more women into science and technology, and I don't want to overlook those, but we still have work to do, and all of us can do something to help. We can help by making science more approachable, more relatable to everyday life, and more inclusive. Part of that work is making scientists seem more like everyday people. For example, check this out. Google the word scientist and look at all the images. Keep in mind this search is better than it was a few years ago. You see a few women and a few people of color, but the images are mostly white men, and all of them are in white lab coats. There are so many types of scientists. This isn't an accurate representation of what a scientist looks like. Just check out some of the super cool scientists we have on board for this book. Their fields range from animal behavior to neurosurgery to video game design. Olivia Pavko-Giacchia is the CEO of the Lab Candy Company and studied cognitive science. Courtney Madison is a marine scientist who creates wall-sized sculptures of coral reefs. Dr. Carletta Chief is an environmental scientist and a big advocate for the Native American community. Patrice Banks is a materials engineer turned entrepreneur who runs the Girls Auto Clinic. Dr. Liz Wayne is a cancer researcher, and Dr. Ashanti Johnson is a coastal oceanographer who's a big advocate for getting more people of color into science graduate programs. All these scientists are really excited about the project. They recognize that projects like Super Cool Scientists are really important. If we recognize and celebrate the people who are doing this kind of work today, it helps us change the narrative and break the stereotypes. And that helps us inspire and support the next generation of scientists. It shows them all the different career options that exist beyond the white lab coat. I chose a coloring book to tell these stories because I wanted to do something different, and coloring isn't just for kids. Coloring has really taken the world by storm over the past few years, to the point where I even see coloring pads now in line when I check out at the grocery store. I personally had a coloring revelation last year when I started exploring different things that helped with my anxiety. Turns out, coloring helps me focus and keeps my hands busy. So while Super Cool Scientists will be appealing to young people, it'll also be fun for college students and adults. The scientist stories are interesting, the coloring is a calming activity, plus, if you contribute to the project, you become part of a bigger community helping an important cause of making science more inclusive for everyone. We hope you join us in making Super Cool Scientists a reality and to continue celebrating all the women out there doing their super cool science.